The Lord bless you, heart dwellers. Well, today we've kind of been counting our boo-boos. It's been very dark and difficult, a lot of challenges, most of them psychological, I think. So when I came into prayer to receive the message, the Lord began, "Everything counts, beloved. Please tell the brother that these exasperations are keeping him alive in the night watches." In other words, keeping Trump alive in the night watches. They count as solid offerings put on the scales to offset the judgment. This should be good news for him, bolstering his resolve and efforts. I am with you, brother, and I count every little suffering you endure for the sake of the community as a big fast offering. Please be encouraged, my blessed one. Children, the hour is dark and tedious, but it shall not always be so. Rejoice that you have one another. So many are alone in this same circumstance. Truly, you need one another. And what a blessing you are to each other. Think on these things, dear ones, as you get discouraged. Thank me that you do have one another, as well as a spouse who is on the same page with you. So many are alone or compromised, even though it is very dark. Still, you have the light of one another's countenance to cheer you on. And that's not to mention the great cloud looking in and praying for you. Your relatives, too, are honored to be a part of this little movement of end times warriors. I have sent St. Philomena to you for this time and season. Avail yourselves of her intercession. She is indeed a very sweet and powerful influence in heaven, gaining many indulgences and graces for you before the Father's throne. Please pray for your president at all hours of the day and night. Your coverage is important, and continue to pray for those who guard him, and that any traitors will be found out before they manage to do damage. Events are truly being held in abeyance until the timing is right. Much of that depends upon keeping your president alive and well. Lord, have you got anything else to say? Persevere. It is paying off. Do not grow slack. When you begin to cool down and are tempted to slack off, it is then that you must renew your resolve and efforts, because the enemy is trying to stop your prayers. Of this you can be sure. When the covering is weakest over the president, that is when they will go ahead with their plans and likely succeed. And here he's talking about the plans to assassinate President Trump. There are very special souls all over the world who have been summoned to pray for President Trump. Heaven is well aware of your weaknesses and tendencies to slack off, so there are many to take over when you do. Truly, we are not taking any chances. Lord, will there ever be a time when he's safe? Jesus answered me, no. There will always be a plot to kill him using trained assassins, but your prayers will always cause more to rise up and give their all in protecting him. And what he meant by that is that our prayers will always cause more security officials and people like that to protect him, to rise up and give their all in protecting him. And many of his security have died protecting him already. There is still much to be done in your government to make it ready to stand. That is, if you're successful in protecting him. But remember, there are very traumatic events coming to your earth that will greatly complicate matters, and especially political matters. Your planet needs all the prayer it can get, beloved. But right now I must tell you, more and more are rallying to the side of goodness. There are still issues of the fallen ones and demon aliens that must be conquered. Many will be deceived and co-opt their agendas, despite the warnings from the Christian community. I think what he meant there is many will get sucked into working with them. The Holy Spirit will react strongly within every consecrated soul to keep them from falling for the lies. But some will not heed the warnings. Others will not be listening very carefully, and most will be taken up and convinced of the benefits of consorting with them. Your warnings will be a steady anchor point in rough seas as these evil ones move in on your society. I do remember, Lord, an instance where a demon alien was being questioned and was growing weaker by the moment. One of the men invited to see this became very upset that the creature was failing, and we were so unsympathetic. Jesus continued, there will be many such ways used to turn the leery away from being ever so careful and cause them to sympathize with the alien demons. In truth, the alien demon cares only for one thing, obeying Satan and destroying us. But many will not be able to see this. Pray for them when the time comes, beloved. And what I wanted to mention here is I did an earlier message about all of this when we were talking about med beds and that kind of thing. There was a hint, and sometimes very blatant proclamation that Jesus came from the aliens, and that he was only one of many ways to God, and that the aliens were responsible for raising Jesus and putting him on this planet. And so he's the higher consciousness, and they're the ones who created him. And some people are going to fall for this, but not you guys. Please don't fall for this. What a terrible lie. These are demons masquerading as though they were good. It's a terrible lie. So as things, the New Age movement grows and people hook into that, and the alien movement grows, they're going to want to see these as their friends and as the maker of their God, and that they're responsible for the planet. That couldn't be further from the truth. There is no such thing as a good demon alien. They are all demons in disguise, and they are all wicked. So remember that, dear ones. The Lord told me that months ago, and I put it in the other message, but I wanted to remind you of it, because they can be very seducing and enticing to make you think, oh, these brothers are here to help us. They're here to suck you in and destroy you. God bless you, family. Please stay close to the Lord and Our Lady as well, and you won't be sucked into these lies.